Can you tell us your most crazy real estate story?
Oh gosh, how do you narrow it down to one? How about we talk about open houses and how there's the lack of etiquette? I recently had over $700,000 listing, and people were using my client's bathroom. Washing their hands. They were sitting on the couch, like they weren't gonna leave. And I was like, open house was over like 30 minutes ago. Leaving the doors open. I mean, I've had kids jumping on beds, parents putting their kids on the counter like their toddler, and they're walking on my clients' counters. And because I have no problem telling, excuse me, get your kid down. Right now, get your kid down.
Right. Maybe you should do a class on that.
It's hitting different.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Realest People in Real Estate podcast, where we're talking about the real shit and not about real estate. I'm one of your hosts, Brooke Jones, aka the Millennial Agent.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Tyra Nicole.
And hey, everybody. I am Nicole Pay. And today we have Associate Broker with Dwellings, Michigan, Team Lead of Hearts to Home. Is it Hearts to Homes?
Hearts to Homes.
Hearts to Homes. I got that right. And Luxury Certified Miss Derica Wade. Thank you so much for being with us. We're so excited to have you.
Welcome.
How was it coming downtown? Because I know you were a little apprehensive about coming downtown. Have you not been down in this area?
Yeah. No, I wasn't apprehensive.
I thought you were apprehensive about being down here.
No. Just finding the parking.
Parking is always an issue.
Right.
But it's so beautiful.
I love
down
JoJo's,
here.
so.
It's so gorgeous down here. I love it. So we're going to just dive into some quick hot topic. Anything? Yeah. Well, I already see her going.
No.
I thought you were ready for hot topics. Anything? Do you have anything?
What's going on, guys?
I don't know.
What's going on?
We just had the draft. We just had the draft.
Oh,
in Detroit,
yeah. That's
which was huge.
Record.
Broke a record.
We broke the record. Did you go down?
I did not.
You did not?
My husband had it on all weekend, though.
So we were down there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah.
All the days.
I don't think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we came home before 2 a.m. Right?
So you can give us a whole breakdown of the entire thing.
I mean, we hit different spots, and I think every spot had its own unique element to it. Obviously, Wednesday we were with you guys, so Wednesday was super awesome. We went to the Chandelier. We hung out at the Chandelier, and then Thursday night we did. Where did we go Thursday? It's all a blur.
Did you guys actually go to where they were doing the draft? Did you make it in there?
Saturday we went to Hart Plaza.
Thursday we were at Ford Field.
Thursday.
The concert. How was that?
Well, wasn't they had like a so we have season tickets, so we got tickets to Ford Field, and it was like a only season ticket holder, which was cool because they had like a huge screen. Huge screen, tons of stuff going on. But the problem was everyone was at the draft.
Yeah.
So it was actually really dead in Ford Field, which was surprising. We thought it was going to be jam packed, but everybody.
But that was the night that Big Sean performed.
That was
right?
Thursday night, yeah. So. And everybody was at the draft.
Yeah.
So we ended up leaving there and went to Cambria for Rob's event for a couple hours. And then Friday, you hung out with us on Friday.
I hung out on Friday.
She did. She hung out with us.
Oh, you ended up going back there?
I did. I didn't stay the entire... How much longer did you guys stay after that?
Till about 10:30.
Okay.
I stayed till 2.
He stayed till 2.
Oh, yeah, because you went to another event.
Yeah, but we stayed till like 10:30, and it was like the vibe still was just and it was just like magnetic. And then Saturday we took the kids down, and we actually went into the draft area on Saturday, which was super fun. So I mean, it was great to hear that Detroit had 0 issues.
I'm proud of our city.
I'm so proud of our city. Like you worry about. I mean, we've had like a bad name for many years. A bad rap, for many years. So for the city to come together, break the record, not every single day, not only for every single day, but for the entire capacity.
Yeah. For so many people.
So many people.
There.
They said over 750,000 people were down there.
Yeah.
And there to be no issues.
That's
Nothing.
beautiful.
I mean, you can't script that. That's absolutely amazing. So
I was proud of
That was
Detroit.
our weekend. I was very proud of Detroit. So hot topics, I guess that's it until football season. When we lose all of our audience, because that's all Will and I talk about is football. Yeah. So, all right, Derica, we're going to get into you. So, Associate Broker for Dwellings, Michigan.
Yes.
Tell us all about that. How did you get your journey to become an Associate Broker?
Well, I was a fitness instructor for I'll say about 10 years into my fitness. One of my students starting to encourage me to get my license. And I was like, girl, no, I am not getting that. I'm not going back to school. I'm too old. I felt like I was too old. But then I remember on the treadmill talking with my husband, and I was like, what am I going to do when I can't jump around like a crazy person anymore? And then she kept, for about 2 or 3 years, she kept, you need to do it. We, would have 250 people a night at our classes.
That's amazing.
And so I was like, maybe I should consider this. And so then I finally made that decision after lots of prayer about it. I made the decision to go ahead and move forward. And then the building I was teaching at caught on fire. And I was like, okay, are you telling me I shouldn't do this?
Yeah, right.
So then
Where was that at?
I used to teach at a place in Westland on Ford Road.
And they caught on fire?
Yes,
How did that happen?
yeah. I'm not even sure. So we started teaching at a school in Redford, and we taught there for a while until my friend again said, "You need your own building. You need your own building." And I'm like, "No, I don't. I'm going on like 13 years. I'm like, I'm ready to kind of like pass the baton." And so we ended up getting our own building. And we gutted it. It used to be a beauty school in Westland, so we gutted it. We did everything, paint, floor, everything. And so here we are. We've had that now for about 6 years.
That's awesome.
But I did have to pass the baton. I started having some neck and back pain, and it got to a point where I was like, couldn't turn my head, couldn't turn my neck, and had some MRIs done. And my doctor was like, well, unless you want to have surgery or be in a wheelchair, you can no longer teach. And I was devastated.
That's like your livelihood.
It was. And, like I said, we had 200 people a night. We've helped thousands of women lose so much weight and get off medication for health conditions. And I was devastated. And I went into like a real big state of depression. I turned to food. I gained some weight. And I hid it from everybody, my closest friends, my husband. Nobody really knew because I would, everything is great.
Yeah.
But inside I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't be a part of the community. But I passed the baton to a younger generation, and she's still teaching. I modify. I go to her classes. I modify. But meanwhile, I've been building my business at the same time as kind of like passing the baton and still overseeing the fitness world. But I love it. I used to do honeymoons and weddings, so I love that one-on-one, intimate, getting to know people. And I think sometimes you deal with a client for, it could be 90 days, it could be 3 years, and you really get to know them, and the relationships go beyond the closing table. And a lot of my clients have become my friends, and they can't get rid of me.
So how long was dance because we had talked about it before, I had started dancing at 3. How long was dance in your life? Has it been something?
I don't have a day of dance dance education. I know that was really hard for me when I first started teaching, and I was really intimidated because I'm like, I don't know what an 8 count is. I just feel the beat, feel the rhythm. It's in my genetics, and I just go.
That's awesome.
And so when I started teaching with some other people, they're like, it's 4 8 counts. I'm like, tell me how many times I got to go that way, because I don't know what you just said to me. So that was a lot of learning in that too. But it's been fun.
How did you get into fitness?
Well, I'm originally from Florida, and my mom called me, and she said, you got to go check out this thing called Zumba. And I'm like, Zumba? What? And it's like all Latin inspired. And I was like, what? So then I went to a class, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And so I took classes for about 2 years, and then I'm like, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. And so that's how I started.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember all the Zumba classes.
I know, my mom did Zumba.
Yeah, we loved it. And as we said, dancing never leaves your soul.
It
so
doesn't.
you can continue to be
Yes.
even though you're not a dancer, it's still the
just genetics.
passion.
Yes.
Still
My family
so much
loves
there.
music. We love to salsa, and we love to do all that just genetically. So
is that part of your heritage?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So in Florida, you were born and raised in Florida?
Off and on, from
Okay.
Tampa.
Oh, that's one of our favorite
Can you
places.
tell us what is the most memorable story with one of your clients, their fitness journey?
Oh my gosh, I've had so many. I've helped 7 women lose over 100 pounds each. And for them the confidence, I think that's been the most rewarding for me. I invite the women to come on stage with me because, your classes are that large. You can't be on the same level with them. So I taught on a stage after I grew the classes. And for them to come on stage with me and their confidence, all the tears that were shed, feeling great about themselves, and even like going out with them to help them pick out clothes. I'm like, here, try this on. They're like, I can't fit into that. I'm like, girl, because they still see themselves 100 pounds heavier. And I loved doing all of that, like letting them get that, like, oh my God, that's me in the mirror. Yes, it is, and you're beautiful. And so I love that.
That's
So
awesome.
Yeah.
when they told you that you could no longer dance or teach fitness, did you try to see if it was any other solution, or?
I had been going to chiropractic care for years. I just kept putting it off, which I do. No matter how I felt, I would get on stage and dance anyway because it wasn't about me. So I lived years in pain until I finally couldn't go anymore with just putting it off. So I knew when I went and had the MRI, when I knew that now I can turn my neck, I knew that it was that time. I knew.
Okay.
I don't want to have surgery, and I don't want to be in a wheelchair. So
do you teach at all anymore?
I teach, not really, but I'll get up there and kind of do what we call like throwback songs and, still be a part of the community because that's always going to be me.
Yeah.
So is it anything you could still do?
I can't run or jump. So, and I'm not supposed to squat, but I do. But I go and see and I can't twerk quite as well as I used to. Just because of the lower back pain, but I still get it in.
You can't what?
Twerk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or old school booty
I
pop.
thought that's what you said.
Yeah.
That was going to be my question. I don't know if you can hear me that well.
Yeah.
Who choreographs? Do you?
I did.
And then now you go hand in hand with your protege?
I know she we worked together for 10 years, and then when I passed the baton, she does her own choreography. I even was co-teaching with my husband, and he choreographed, and so we had no idea that we had that skill.
Yeah.
We had no idea. I'm like, wow, look at my husband choreographing hustles and all this.
Have any teaching?
No, neither one of us.
Oh, wow.
No.
Don't get any ideas.
I just wanna
That's
go to
cool
class.
though. That you
He
guys
just wants to go dance.
Yeah.
We
Yes,
love to dance.
please do.
We will. I
Please
can
do.
promise you, we will definitely be there.
It's-
And I'm
you said
hoping
some
to
Westland?
eventually have
Yes.
some
Okay.
classes there too. Like that's definitely.
And it's
something.
dark, so we turn off the lights. We have red lights that turn on. We have pole lights it helps people that may feel like I don't want to look silly.
Yeah.
I always say channel your Sasha Fierce, and just have fun. She's a big Beyonce fan.
Yeah. It's something that I always told William, like that was a vision of mine because so many times, especially as women who love to dance, we would, the only places we could really go out and actually dance are in clubs, and you don't have that security being able to be yourself or whatever. So I told him so long ago, I had this vision of a place with the lights dark, the lights going. I even talked about having a DJ in the corner and having like a DJ, like giving you that vibe that you want, because so many, especially like I'm in my 40s, so going to a club, it ain't it anymore. Like,
I'm about to be a grandma, so I'm like, I'm definitely not trying to be in
not trying to be in the club, but I want to dance, and I want my girls to be able to come out and dance with me.
Yes.
So I love
Especially
that.
because me coming from the party promoter world, there are a bunch of pigs in the club that are
you're on video,
they won't
right?
give you your space.
Right.
Yeah,
So
like
if you twerking trying to enjoy yourself, and you look decent, they're so aggressive.
Yeah.
You stop having fun.
Right.
So I think that's a great.
And
idea.
it was
irritating.
something, it is so irritating. It's like a vision I had. So we will definitely be chatting
glad.
about that after, because
Yay.
we will be in that. So how did you transition? You said someone pushed you to get into the real estate world, but what was that transition finally like for you?
It was scary because I didn't know a thing about real estate. I didn't know a thing. And so when I interviewed with my broker, she was interviewing me and I was interviewing her at the same time. I told her, if you're willing to teach me, I'm a sponge. I will learn whatever you're willing to teach. And she said, if you're willing to, I will walk hand in hand with you. And that's exactly what I've done. I've worked hand in hand with my broker. Way to go, Shannon Hall. I always plug her because I love her so much. And I'm so thankful for her. She has taught me everything that I know. And then she encouraged me to go to the next level and become an associate broker. And again, I had no desire to do that because I'm like 40 hours. Now I got to do 90 hours and I got to take this test. And so,
So when did you become an associate broker?
I just did it in February.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. I was, we went to South Africa in December, and I was studying in South Africa and Cabo, and, I was like, I got to get this done. And that was...
So what's the test like compared to the real estate test, like the agent test?
It is more of a management. It's coming more from management, I think, with an associate broker or a broker, because it's a broker test.
Correct.
You're just an associate if you're not the principal, right? So I think it asks you a lot of different scenarios about how you would handle this from a management and a lot of agency. A lot of
no commingling.
Yes.
A lot of that.
Funds.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I remember from the test. Like, it was like repeatedly over and over. So from like an accounting standpoint.
Oh, wow.
So
Accounting.
I'm lost.
the funds, commingling funds.
Putting it like in the same account and getting them all mixed up.
Yeah.
I remember that. Can we throw it back though to like your childhood?
I was just about to go there.
Yeah.
I love it.
So because we started kind of, I don't know, at your real estate career, which was further on in life. So tell us about where you
way out.
tell us where you grew up, about your childhood.
Well, I told you guys when I started here that I keep it real. So I'm in therapy. Okay, so if you want to talk about childhood, you don't have enough time.
Well, you're in the right podcast.
You are in the right place.
Good.
Plenty of us are in therapy. Don't worry.
And you know what? I always talk about it like it's real. Like, don't pick up the rug and sweep it underneath of it. Talk about it, heal from it, move past it. I don't feel like I'm a victim. I'm a victor because I have rose above whatever I went through in my childhood.
Yes.
So I was kind of born and raised in Tampa versus here. My mom moved up here because, back in the 70s. Okay, so now there's my age a little bit. It was the thing to do is to work at the Ford Motor Company. So my grandfather did that. So my mom moved up here, and the rest of my family stayed in Florida. But I went back and forth. Once my mom became a single mom, and we were poor, my mom would send me back to live with my abuela. So I would go back and live with my grandmother. So that's kind of how, then I would go to school there for a season, and then I would come back up here, and then I would go back down there. So it was a lot. I used to say we were gypsies because we moved around a lot. So stability wasn't really our strong suit. So I was a queen. Like, I could tell you how to pack. And like, I can move you like this. When Katie moved, I was like, hey, label them boxes so we know living room, bedroom, bathroom, fragile. So
Are you an only child?
Yes.
You are an only child. So your brother was down in Tampa, like Tampa area?
Yes.
But you said your grandfather was up here?
My grandfather, yes, they separated, and my grandfather moved up here.
And then your mom moved up here as well?
Yes.
So when you were going back and forth, how long did that last within your childhood before you were actually... I would say stable in one area.
Who said I'm stable? No, no,
I know. I was saying that's why I said stationed in one area for a time.
I haven't lived in Tampa since I've been 15.
Okay.
The last time I went to school there, I was in high school, and then so when I came back up here, I never went back because I was a young mom. At 18, and so then I started my own family and started my own journey. So I never lived back in Florida.
Where'd you go to school? Where'd you?
Here,
Yeah.
and like the Wayne Westland schools.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Belleville.
So what was that like being a young mom at 18?
It was rough. it was rough, and my first child was born with a health condition. So I lived at the U of M. And then moved to Children's Hospital. So I've, Bobby, and I know, coming down to Detroit a lot. So it was rough. My baby daddy is still in high school. So it was a lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
it was
you
a
were
lot.
18. Were you graduated or?
Nope. I dropped out. I was not the best teenager. But I did go back and I got my GED. And I started taking some college courses, and then I went to travel school, and I went into the travel business. And I was there for about 25 years in the travel business. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait, what's the travel business like?
I became a travel agent.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, 25 years, that's a long
That's
A long
time.
time, yeah. 'Cause I worked for the airlines. I worked for some travel agents, like American Express and some other ones. And then I bought my own in 1999.
Bought your own?
I became an entrepreneur. I bought my own travel agency.
Oh, really?
And then,
Okay.
I had that until 9/11. And then,
Yeah.
Everything changed.
Yeah, everything
and shifted
changed.
that.
Yeah.
The whole-
You have a lot going on.
I know,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Like there's a whole backstory. So do you only have one child or?
I have 2. My husband has 2, so we have 4.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And what are their ages?
Oh, gosh. 33.
Stop it.
He
Yeah.
said, "Stop
Your
it."
oldest is 33?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 33, 30, 27, and 26.
That's really awesome.
So are you an empty nester now?
Yes. So, but I had to get a dog because I don't have any grandbabies, and we were dying to have grandbabies. So I was like, okay, well, I got to get a dog then because I need
Yeah.
something to love, right? So
But you said you're having a grandbaby soon.
soon in October.
Oh,
our
October
first.
what? What's the due date?
My 27th, I believe.
Okay, so end of October.
My
you guys
daughter's
know
the
the gender?
22nd.
We're the
Oh
fourth.
boy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're so
I really
You're
wanted
so
a girl because we
sweet.
have 3 boys and 1 girl. So
Yeah.
I really wanted a girl, but it's okay as long as the baby's healthy.
You'll probably get a girl. You got
There's
more coming,
I
I'm
would
sure.
say
Plenty of time.
I think you have a plenty big village for
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
You know, we keep talking about our oldest is 18 and our youngest is 2, and we were like, empty nesting is not going to be in our future anytime soon.
But I'm not going to lie, my 2-year-old is already acting like a grown man. So
Oh.
I feel like I'm closer to empty
He
nesting.
might move out at like 18.
He might move out at
16
7.
years.
Get his own mortgage. You never know. But I just said that. I was like, God, what were, like literally 18, and then we're like, oh, let's do this
Yeah.
again.
So, being a teen mom, can you go a little bit deeper into that story of finding out you were pregnant? Did you tell your parents? Did you hide it?
I told my mom she was not happy and told me that if I was going to have a baby, I had to get out.
Yeah.
So I did.
Okay.
And I moved into the low-income townhouses, in the hood, whatever you want to say, and we made it. We made it work.
Here or?
Yeah, here.
Okay.
Okay.
So you've been here. You haven't went back to Florida since then.
I mean,
not
to
to-
visit family, but not
Yeah,
to live.
to
Yes,
live, okay.
yes, not to live.
Yeah.
And you still have a lot of family in the Tampa area, or
Yes, yes.
it's so beautiful down there. I love it. Absolutely love it. So coming back, single mom, raising a son, raising your son. What was the turning point for you to like say this shit? There's got to be a change. Like this shit's. I'm done with this shit. Like when are we done? So was that with the travel agency? Is that when things started to pick up for you?
Yeah, when my son was born, and even through his health conditions, I was like, there has to be something. I have to provide better for him. And so that's when I went to travel school and got my certification and I just dove in. I started off in like hotels, and then I went to the airlines and some big name travel agencies, got some really, really good training in customer service. And I had to know a lot of the systems and all of that. So I was corporate for a long time, which was super boring. And then I was like, I want to learn how to do vacation travel because that was fun and I didn't know any of it. So then I started teaching myself. I would take back then the VHS videotapes. I would take those home with me, and I started taking brochures home. And so I kind of started teaching myself the vacation aspect. And then I started working for an independent lady who, again, I became a sponge. She taught me everything. And then a year later, I went into business with my husband now, and no baby daddy. So we bought our travel agency, and then we went into business together.
Do you have any of that still to this day? Or
No, we finally closed it. My plate just became too full. I still will have some clients that will call me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't do that anymore. So no.
Yeah. Do you mind sharing the health issue that your son had? If not, that's fine. I
probably would rather not.
Okay.
I guess. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I would say you, having the travel agency and dance, you have a lot of clientele, or you've networked a lot before you kind of became a real estate agent already. So do you feel like that was an easy transition, that they like supported you and used you as a real estate agent? I know.
No, because I felt that I was always the Zumba lady. Everywhere
Okay.
I would go, I was like, there's my Zumba lady. And I was like, oh, I'm never going to get rid of that. Because we were, I mean, even at Cedar Point, oh, there's my Zumba instructor. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going to get known as. So it took a little while, to be honest. And I would make sure I tell people, like, I don't look at your Social Security. I don't never ask for your Social Security. I will not talk about finances, because I didn't want them to think that I was going to be at class with 200 people talking about their finances. So I think that there was kind of like people sitting back like, let me just observe first.
Yeah.
And some have been amazing, but some I think are still kind of like,
Yeah.
It's
So
still a tough.
how long have you been in real estate?
Since 2019.
2019.
Right before the shutdown.
Oh, right before shutdown. How did that affect your business?
Well, thank God for Shannon Hall again, because we did 3D Matterport tours back then. So I was still able to sell some homes while we were shut down, because I didn't have to worry about going out and showing, touring, or anything like that, because I could just send them the 3D Matterport tour. Obviously, it wasn't the same. Business wasn't, but I was still able to have some movement.
And then once shutdown was obviously lifted, how did your clientele change, or what made your business change?
I think marketing is a really big thing with it. You know, you're always looking for new marketing strategies. You know, do you farm? Do you not farm? Do you invest in social media? Do you invest in lead generation? I've tried everything. I've tried to figure out what works, and what works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for me. So sometimes I would bump my head like, oh, it didn't work for her, but maybe it still worked for me. No, it didn't work. You know, so I've tried a lot of different avenues.
So what would you consider your niche in real estate, or what worked for you in real estate? Or are you still like...
I feel like I'm still building, even though, you know, my broker was like, you need to congratulate yourself. And I guess I don't do that enough, or I don't do that.
We're always our hardest critic.
Yeah,
Nor do we give ourselves grace.
Yeah, I mean, I got top producer last year at our brokerage.
Congratulations.
But, like, I didn't want to even post that on social media. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, I don't want nobody to take that wrong.
No,
you know,
yeah,
so
you
I kind
have
of
to
like
do that though.
I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm getting better with it.
And even a part of building your business, I've learned it's just good to put that stuff out there, because when people see that, they see that you're working and you're making things happen, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to work with her because she got all this stuff going on. So it's just a good part of marketing as well, on top of, you know, giving yourself that.
And even if they don't use you, because I found, like, similar to you, I've had, and I feel like everybody's dealt with this, but like family, friends, like people you know, acquaintances, they know you're a real estate agent, right? Like the first thing they say to you when they see you is like, oh, I see you're killing it in real estate. But then you see they sold their house and they didn't sell it with you, right? And you're like, okay, well, you just told me, like, you blatantly told me about real estate.
Tag me and stuff, like the memes. Like, I've been selling real estate since I was 3 years old, and you ever seen that little girl with like the pearl earrings? Like, I've had people tag me and stuff, and I'm like, like, you're tagging me in real estate stuff.
But so they might not use you, but they might suggest you to somebody. You know what I mean? Maybe there's because my thing is, okay, why didn't they use me? Maybe they have like a stepmom who's a real estate agent, and like I understand that. Like I would want somebody, if I was a stepmom, I would want my child to support me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I always try to first figure out why they didn't use me, and then maybe use that as like, okay, well, I can improve, or how can I improve on that? But
and a lot of times, what I found, a lot of times the spouse has something to do with it. Because
really? Absolutely.
Like you may be friends with the wife, but then the husband has
friends too.
A family member or somebody that, and so that's what I found a lot of times too. So
relating it to me being a barber, I'm a master barber, full time. Obviously, you all.
We all know that.
But it's a lot of people I bump into every day that they don't use me to cut their hair.
Yeah.
But I guess the way I look at it is too bad.
Yeah.
It's funny though, like men with their barbers, like
that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah.
Like men are pretty loyal to their barbers, and if they leave their, it's hilarious. The people we see out, like Will can have a client for years, and we'll see him out, and they'll like not make eye contact with him, and I'm like, what is that? And like I like make a joke, and I guess the realest people in real estate, men are more loyal to their barbers than they are their women sometimes.
Yeah.
And I've said that before. I've said that so many, like
it's
they're
true.
so loyal to the barbers, and then we'll be like, oh, I used to cut his hair, and the guy's like,
I'm
like, what is the big deal? Like, he went to a different barber. Like, it's not
because you're cheating on your barber.
No, well, that's what he said. He's like, it's like they feel like they're cheating on me, and I'm like, that's
But do
so
you feel
weird.
a way about
Do you feel that?
No, honestly, I don't, because I keep telling her stop referring people.
He does. He yelled at me.
Okay.
Stop
I'm
referring
cut
people
off.
to me.
I'm not taking any
I think
more
it's different for
customers.
barbers than hairstylists, because hairstylists really feel a way.
Yeah, they do.
When you go somewhere else.
They'll say something.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do this color job on your head.
Yeah, they don't
but where
like
did
that
you go?
at all.
Where did you go? But it's
I don't
funny.
go over other people's
Because
work.
in talking about like the right, exactly. In talking about the service industry, though, real estate agents are no different. Like if you think about it, we're no different than hairstylists or barbers. But it's some like almost like we just got to take it on the chin when it comes that way. When people use other people, like
That's a good point, because
That is a good point.
we have an associate, which is, I can't say her name, but we bought our house through somebody else, and she deleted us off Facebook.
Oh, really?
This was before we became real estate agents.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know who I'm talking about.
We'll say that.
We'll say after hours.
After hours. We're not going to talk about it right now.
We
But
didn't buy our house with her. She deleted us off Facebook.
So
It's like that with real estate too,
And
because
she related to
It's
me
really
by
competitive.
marriage.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
The
was
only
mad
okay.
about it. And in fact, what's funny is we didn't even use a real estate agent at all.
Yeah,
Like,
we did it ourselves.
we bought
Yeah.
from family, so we didn't use an agent at all. And it was
Yeah.
like, same thing you said, though. Like, there was no communication about the story behind what happened.
Yeah,
We
and that's
bought
the
from
problem.
family,
Yeah.
and there was an assumption that we didn't use this person for a reason. And the next
Yeah.
thing you know, I'm blocked on social media, and I was like,
The only time it bothers me is when I'm working with the buyer and I've showed them, this hasn't happened in a long time, but this has happened previously. I've showed them several houses and then they're like, we're just going to take a break from looking because we've been looking forever. And then a few months later, I look up on social media.
And
or
they
something,
bought a
they're-
house.
Yeah. And they bought a house.
Yeah.
I'm like, I spent all that time.
Yeah.
Like
I
months
think
and months.
that's the nature of the beast. But
Yeah.
back to you being a top producer. Congratulations on that.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you had a feature in Real Producers.
I did.
You
I did.
So what was that experience like for
Yeah.
you? What is it like being a part of the Real Producers community?
That's what I love about it. You said the keyword community. I love seeing my colleagues on there. Not so much myself, but that's just different for me. But I love seeing them on there. The one that got me into real estate was just recently on there. So I was just like, yay, get it, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I do love the community aspect of it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And it's
Just-
a great
yeah.
community to be in. And they have several, like, there's Wayne, Oakland, Macomb. Those are the
Yeah.
three, right?
Well, I believe they're all around the country. But
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay,
there's
so
different
just for
counties.
us. So which feature were you in? Or which
October of last year.
October of last year.
Was
That's
it-
so awesome.
Was
That's
it
very
Oakland
awesome.
County?
Wayne.
Wayne
It was
County.
Wayne.
Okay.
Okay. Super
Can you
awesome.
tell us your most crazy real estate story?
Oh gosh, how do you narrow it down to one?
I know.
Okay.
We've had some pretty crazy
Yeah,
ones
we
that
have.
we've heard about. So
Yeah, I off the top of my head, I don't know. I mean, I've had so many weird situations with like sewer scopes and bad sewer lines and sellers not wanting to do stuff, but then being able to negotiate, okay, no, you need to take care of this.
any experience like in a house? Like we
seen
had
anything
one.
weird?
Yeah, we had
Oh,
one that
how about
walked
we talk
into-
about open houses and how there's the lack of etiquette?
Yeah.
Yes, I recently had over $700,000 listing, and people were using my client's bathroom, washing their hands. They were sitting on the couch, like they weren't going to leave, and I was like, open house is over like 30 minutes ago.
They were literally
You
making
need to
themselves
leave.
at home.
Yeah,
You
just
ain't got to go home.
leaving the
but-
doors open. I mean, I've had kids jumping on beds.
No.
What?
Yes, kids jumping on beds, parents putting their kids on the counter like they're toddler and they're walking on my clients' counters. So I like to work my own open houses for that reason because I have no problem telling, excuse me, get your kid down.
Yeah.
Right now, get your kid down.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
it's crazy. That's what I said, open house etiquette. You know, it's
Maybe you should do a class on that.
I know, right? Like
right.
we need to sit down, especially on a $700,000.
How do you do that though? Because it's like the
Yes.
community. But
Right.
the thing is most houses have cameras, and so, and your client's watching the cameras, right? When they're not at the house, like, and they know people are in the house, they want to see what's going on.
Right.
So they're looking
Yeah.
at those cameras, and you as the real estate agent, if you're letting people do that, not letting them do it, but I mean, like they're
It's
doing
happening.
it themselves. Yeah, then you are the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's tough. It's a tough.
Yeah, and I think even as buyer's agents, we have to control that too because a lot of people I see that they don't man their children. I hate to say it, but
Yeah.
again, telling it like it is. But if I'm showing a house and you're bringing your children with you, it's my responsibility to make sure that you're manning your children.
Yeah.
My clients live here, or somebody's clients live there. Like, you
You're
have to
visiting.
control them. You know what I mean? And respecting their stuff. And I've seen women come in with backpacks. We heard the dresser drawers open, and we're like running upstairs to make sure they're not,
stealing.
taking my client's stuff.
Privacy.
That's
It is.
crazy.
I've really seen a lot of improper stuff with open houses, and even some of the stuff that I've heard. Like, I had a client that left my client's house completely unlocked for over 4 hours, front door, back door.
My
Oh,
God.
wow.
I
My
hate
client
that.
got home and he was livid.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah,
livid.
rightfully
So then, of
so.
course, I have to call the agent. The agent's like, oh, it wasn't me. It was the showing agent. Oh, it wasn't the showing agent. It was, and I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, lock doors. And I actually said to the agent, did you not learn how to lock a door? Because you left my client's home
think that would be
fully
common
exposed. So yeah, that's just some crazy stuff that
Speaking of
Irks
locking
me.
doors, I went to show a house like just the other day, and the lock, like the handle, was really old, right? And so sometimes with those keys, they get jammed in there, and you can't get it out. Thank God my clients had already left. I was like, feel free to leave. Like, I'm just putting my shoes on. I'm gonna wrap up here and like lock the door or whatever. I sat there for like 30 minutes trying to get
Get
this
the key
out. Get the key
but
out?
I would never just leave the door unlocked.
Right.
But some
Yeah.
people do, and
Yeah.
like that's always my biggest fear is leaving the door unlocked and
Yeah.
something happening when
Yeah.
I left it unlocked. So yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah. So what would be one thing that you could say that nobody knows about you?
I think nobody really knows how nervous I get. This made me really nervous. I think whoever I was emailing with today, I was like, I'm really nervous. Whenever I would bring a new routine to fitness, I would literally almost hyperventilate. I'm like, what if they don't like the song? What if they don't like the moves? What if they don't like this? What if they don't like the? And I mean, I'm just like going through my head, like, and so I get real nervous when I'm speaking or when I'm standing in front of people talking, and people don't know that because they're like, well, you get on stage and you dance 5 days a week. How would you be nervous? I'm like, because I hide it, obviously, hopefully you can't tell today, but
Well, like I told
You do hide it
I was
really
gonna
well.
say I was emailing with you, and I told you I'm like
Yeah, you
open
did,
conversation. So can I at least? Did you feel a little better? Like,
Oh,
about a
yeah. That
conversation?
made
Okay. Okay, good. I'm like I said, don't be nervous. It's an open conversation. So
I appreciate it.
So my question to you is, what would you tell your younger self?
Be confident, reach for the stars, and you're going to be okay.
Okay.
I like that.
Well, I have something I want to tell you now. So I feel like you should give yourself so much credit.
Yeah.
Like you didn't go into a lot of details about your childhood, but you talked about how you kind of bounced back and forth, and then you ended up dropping out of high school, but then you got your GED, and then you started your traveling business, and then you had the whole Zumba thing going with 200, 300 people, and like now you're like killing it in real estate. You were in Real Producers. Like, you should really give yourself credit. Like, all of that stuff is great. Put it out there. Let people know that you rock.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just want to say that.
I agree.
Thank you so much. It really means a lot. It
You're
really
welcome.
does.
And
Thank
you moved really fast in real estate. I mean, you're already an associate broker. You've been licensed for 6 years, but really, like, COVID was how many years of that,
Well, 2019, right? 18 or 19?
19.
19,
Yeah.
so 5 years.
5 years.
And you're already an associate broker. So I agree with Tyra. Like, hearing your story, I don't know if I expected to hear some of your backstory, and I wish we had more time to really get into it, because I think we could
Even being a young mom and,
that itself, I feel like children do kind of help women like mature faster almost. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's a lot of
you gotta
younger
put your
women's
big girl
motivation.
panties on. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Is you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You are put in a situation where you don't have a choice, and like strong women figure it out, and you figure it out. So
and
Thank you,
at
guys.
18,
Amazing.
starting
Amazing.
on your own at
thank you.
18 with your child, it's just like, give it. We have to do that
Yes.
as women. Like, give ourselves the credit.
Grace
sometimes.
and credit.
I can
At
give
the
you
time.
credit, but it's hard for me to give myself credit.
Yeah,
I'm always
I
good to
get
like
that.
lift you up, but me, I'm like,
Well, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're going to
Thank
you.
lift you up, and
Thank
that's
you.
what you're here for.
And
too,
I preach that. I preach, like, forgive yourself. Like, forgive yourself for things. Give yourself the credit. Pat yourself on the back. You rock. So.
thanks.
So we are going to wrap this up really quick. You want to throw any of your social media handles out there? Like,
Yeah, I'm Hearts to Homes everywhere you look, as whether it's Hearts to Homes Derica or Derica Hearts to Homes on Instagram. My website is heartstohomesderica.com. Facebook, same thing, Hearts to Homes Derica.
I love it.
Awesome.
And you have a heart on your shirt.
I do.
you
have a
are.
heart on your shirt. I love that.
Love
Yeah,
it.
my earrings.
that.
I
so
wear
you
a lot
love
of hearts.
Okay.
I
Love it.
got
And I
it.
have to say, I love the name Derica. Like, as soon
thank
as I saw
you.
your name, I told my husband, I was like, that
Unique.
is a badass name.
Yeah.
I
Thank
love
you.
that name.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much
Thank you
for
guys.
joining
Thank you.
us.
Coming up.
Yes.
And next week, where are we at next week? What is next week?
Well, tomorrow we actually have our
Ditch
live
the
podcast.
Heels live podcast.
Yeah.
You guys
tomorrow.
probably probably won't see that for a while, or you won't see it. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna record and edit that. But
are we live streaming? Production crew, or are we recording?
We don't know. We gotta talk about that. We don't know yet.
We'll figure that out.
The show. But make sure you go follow Derica on all of her social media platforms and tune in with us next week. We'll see you soon.
Yes.
Peace.
Bye, guys. It's a wrap. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Thank you guys so much.
We're not ready for the bar lights. Turn the bar lights off. I hate
They're
so
on.
good, guys.